In this video, we're going to be working on ratios and proportions number 4. The question on the back about the cold cuts. Alright, so you are getting ready for a big Halloween party and need to make sure that there is enough food for all your friends. You need cold cuts for the 6-foot hero you are making. Ham costs $3.50 for each half pound. Turkey costs $2.25 for each 1/4 pound. And salami costs $1.80 for 1/5 pound. American cheese costs $1.70 for 1/8 pound, and Swiss cheese costs $1.25 for 1/10 of a pound. Question or part A: compare the cost of turkey and salami. Well, let's label turkey and salami. We have turkey costs $2.25 for each 1/4 pound. And salami costs $1.80 for 1/5 of a pound. Okay, now since we're comparing two ratios, you should know from class that we can only compare two ratios when they are the unit rate. In class, we talked about which one do you think would cost more or less, or which one do you think is the better deal. And many people said that salami would be the better deal just because it's $1.80 for 1/5 of a pound. However, we didn't actually prove anything, and we actually can't compare them because it's not the unit rate. So whenever comparing two ratios, always find the unit rate. So for turkey, we have $2.25 for each 1/4 pound. And for salami, we have $1.80 for 1/5 of a pound. Now, this is just like the Mickey Mouse and Minnie question. You can't compare what Mickey does in 10 minutes to what Minnie does in 6 minutes. Alright, so we can't compare the cost of something that weighs 1/4 of a pound and if the other thing is 1/5 of a pound. It just does not work like that. So find the unit rate for both. Turkey, you divide the top and bottom by the bottom number. So on the bottom we have 1 pound. Up top we have $2.25 divided by 1/4. You could keep change flip, or you could rewrite it as $2.25 divided by 0.25. Regardless, you should get $9. Okay, and for salami now, you divide the top and bottom by 1/5. And we also get $9 for 1 pound. Okay, so we see that after finding the unit rate, that they basically cost the same. So question A: after finding the unit rate, we find that turkey and salami cost the same. Alright, next part of the question. B: if you need to select one meat and one cheese for your hero sandwich, which would you choose so that you spend the least amount of money on cold cuts? Well, remember, whenever comparing ratios, always find the unit rate or the unit price. Same thing. Alright, so we already found the unit rate for turkey, and we already found it for salami. What's left to do is ham. American cheese, and Swiss. So ham, going back to the question, it says that ham cost $3.50 for each half pound. We have American cheese cost $1.70 for 1/8 of a pound, and Swiss cheese costs $1.25 for 1/10 of a pound. All right, so let's find the unit rate for all those. We got ham, $3.50 for a half pound. Divide the top and bottom by the bottom number. On the bottom we get 1 pound, and up top we get $7. American cheese is $1.70 for 1/8 of a pound. Divide the numerator and denominator by the denominator. And we get American cheese is $13.60 for 1 pound. Swiss cheese was $1.25 for 1/10 of a pound. Once again, find the unit rate. And we get $12.50 for 1 pound. Alright, now looking at all the unit rates together, we have turkey is $9 for 1 pound, salami is $9 for 1 pound, ham is $7 for 1 pound, American cheese $13.60 for a pound, Swiss cheese being $12.50 for 1 pound. Now, since we only need to select one meat and one cheese, and we need the cheapest sandwich, right? Spend the least amount of money on Cold Cuts. We have to pick the cheapest meat and the cheapest cheese. So, cheapest meat would be ham, and cheapest cheese would be Swiss. Alright, so your answer would be ham and Swiss cheese. Okay, moving on to the homework question. Susie goes to the clothing store to buy t-shirts. She finds a deal that says 4 shirts for $33.99. She buys 4 shirts. How much did each of those shirts cost her? Well, method 1, we could simply find the unit rate or use a proportion. Whenever you're doing a proportion, always start out with some ratio that you know. Well, we know that she found a deal for 4 shirts for $33.99. So let's write that. We have $33.99 for 4 shirts. And that's going to equal something that we don't know. Well, we want to know how much each shirt cost her. Each shirt being 1 shirt. So in the next ratio, we're going to have 1 shirt. And we don't know how much 1 shirt is, so we're going to call that X. Cross multiply. We have 4X equals $33.99 times 1, which is just $33.99, divided by 4 on both sides, and we get X equals 8.4975. All right, and this would round to $8.50. That is one method. Another method is to simply go back to your unit rate rules. You create a ratio and divide the top and bottom by 4. So we could have used this ratio that we started with and divided the numerator and denominator by 4. However, for method 2, I mean, there's many other methods, but in method 2, I want to show how to put it in a table. So if we were to put this in a table, we would have, or we would start with rather, shirts and dollars. Now in the first column, we're going to start with what we know. And we know that her deal is 4 shirts for $33.99. So 4 shirts for $33.99. And we want to know how much one shirt is. So to go from 4 to 1, we have to divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 gives me 1. And to go from $33.99 to the next column, we would have to do the same exact thing. So $33.99 divided by 4, that would give me the same thing as what we got earlier. And that's 8.4975, which would round to 850. All right, so there's our answer. And the good thing about a table is that, if the question asks for a cost of 10 shirts, 15 shirts, 20 shirts, and so on, we could basically just add the numbers right here. So 10 shirts, 15 shirts, and so on. And we could use that unit rate to find whatever other information that we need to know. All right, so thank you for watching. Study hard.